Daniel Andrews will be facing court for concealing treason and fraud. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of Heise Says. Grab your stein of coffee. Let's have a look at this article from the Daily Mail. Dan Andrews is ordered to front court for concealing treason and fraud in an extraordinary win by anti-lockdown campaigners who convinced a Bush court to accept a private prosecution. Victorian Premier Daniel Andrews has been summoned to appear before a criminal court on a charge of concealing treason was successfully filed with a court. The charge was successfully filed with the Marterfold Magistrates Court, and Mr. Andrews, or at least his legal representative, is listed to face the court on Friday at 9:30 a.m. While the prosecuting agency on the court record is listed as unknown, it is understood anti-lockdown campaigners Jim Rech and Desi Freeman had the matter listed privately. So, sources have told the Daily Mail Australia the private prosecution had been rejected from several Victorian courts before finally being put into the criminal justice stream at Myrtleford, 280 kilometres northeast of Melbourne. Addressing freedom protesters last month, Mr. Rich claimed to have been successful in having the matter brought before the court, but it had since been suppressed to the general public. He refers to himself as a Commonwealth public official, is known to have tried similar proceedings against other members of Parliament across the country, reportedly arresting those sitting on the bench without any Crown authority. Daily Mail Australia noted the matter is in fact listed on the court's electronic filing appearance system, which is accessible to the wider community. He was charged with, but not limited to, misprision of treason and fraud. And as a result of those charges being filed and served, it was served at his electoral office, Mr. Rach told protesters. The police have been given notice, the courts have been told to suppress the listing, but we've put it out there. We've been to the court registers. He told the mob the Victorian Premier faced the death penalty if convicted for treason. Okay. I don't think so. Now that means any politician or on indictable criminal offences, which is a life penalty under martial law, is a death sentence. It has to go to a grand jury, he said. Under the law in Victoria, ordinary citizens can pay $85.70 and file a criminal charge in court. While many private prosecutors are described by legal professionals as wacky, they have a long history in Victoria. Sydney Law School Associate Professor Tyrone Kirchengast told The Age in July private prosecutions were the cornerstone of the early justice system in the 12th century King's Court. The practice goes back to a time before police and prosecutors, where private citizens would apprehend and charge crooks themselves. In those days, hanging the criminal was seen as a favourable option, but more often offenders were branded with hot irons or thrown into the stocks. Today, private prosecutions are mostly used by municipal councils, building authorities and animal welfare groups, but they are also brought into play by members of the public who believe the authorities have dismissed their claims for justice. The case against Mr. Andrews faces significant challenges, with the Commonwealth Director of Public Prosecutions likely to take control of the matter before it gets off the ground. Under the law, the CDPP has the power to overtake and discontinue private prosecutions should it find it has no reasonable prospect of a conviction being secured on the available evidence or was not in the public interest. In July, a private prosecution against the Chief Magistrate of Victoria, Lisa Hannon, was dealt with in Victoria under similar laws. Despite the obvious hurdles, the application has already caused significant inconvenience across sections of the state government, which is expected to provide a lawyer to appear on Mr. Andrews' behalf on Friday. A staffer for the Victorian Director of Public Prosecutions will also be on hand, although the matter is out of its hands due to acts of treason falling under the Commonwealth's umbrella. Mr. Andrews' office failed to respond to the Daily Mail Australia's questions about the upcoming hearing. So there we have it, guys. Let's have a bit of a talk about this one. I would be shocked if this actually proceeds. You know, I'm sure it will be morale boosting for the people that are protesting, thinking they're going to make, bring Dan down. But you got to be realistic here. Guys, come on. If you want to bring him down, you need to get people to vote him down. That's what you need to happen. I think his support is over 60%, and that's dropping. It's still insanely high, but it's dropping. We'll see if this becomes more than simply a waste of taxpayer money. What do you reckon, everyone? Do you think this will actually turn into something real, or will it just be dismissed? We'll have to see. And calling for the death penalty? Come on. Get with the times. It's not going to happen in Australia, guys. Seriously. Although, some of those ways in the 12th century of dealing with thieves, maybe we need to bring those back. Anyway, check out this video about Dan's popularity in Victoria, everyone. It's higher than most people think. And the issue is, if you're just in a social media and a cultural bubble, which a lot of the protesters were, you may not be seeing it, guys. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.